Hey, it's April from Lenovo Garden, and this is my 7th garden tour of 2023. Today is June the 16th, and it's very much at a transition garden now. It is a lot out with the old and in with the new. I will take you guys around and kind of explain what's going on here. In case you guys have not watched any of my videos, I am located in the Western Piedmont area of North Carolina, Zone 7B. So these are my onions. I did come through yesterday and pick several of them out because they are ready to be picked out. Like, for example, this guy right here needs to be picked out now. You notice that his stem is laying over. This is my garlic I put back in like October or November. It is getting very close to done. I did pick out me head yesterday for the family to use, and it was a good, size. I was pretty impressed with it. Now, last week we talked about the watermelon patch. These 2 beds are part of the watermelon patch, so I do need to finish harvesting to be able to put watermelon in. But the other ones that you see here now have watermelon seeds. So hopefully next week you will see actual watermelon plants. I do have a few watermelon plants up here because I had started them by seed, and we planted them finally yesterday. So they got a little head start here. And then this watermelon plant here is actually a volunteer watermelon plant. I did not remove it because I don't really remove volunteer plants that much, but also because this is actually a watermelon bed, so I let it be. This is our kale. It is still tasting good and it is still surviving. So as long as it tastes good and hasn't gone to seed, it will stay there. I do have volunteer tomato plants in this. This is oregano, and it also has a volunteer tomato plant. This side right here, I planted okra in. And yesterday, I did see some okra that has popped up. These are a couple of my cauliflowers that are left behind. It's getting really hot, so I don't really know what they're going to do, but I just didn't remove them. On the other side, I did put a mixture of squash and zucchini in, and they are coming up. This side right here is more okra, but it has cucumbers that are doing good, and some more cucumbers are popping up. A couple more cabbages that are left over. This right here is zucchini, and that cucumber plant looks good. That one looks dead. I'm going to take it out and probably replace it. I have several volunteered sunflowers, and this one has bloomed. So now I know that this is one of my yellow ones. Looks like I got a few carrots left, and here is my biggest cucumber plants that still need to be put on their trellis. This is catnip and oregano. One of my only broccolis that's still hanging around. This side right here, I don't think I have replanted yet because I'm not seeing anything. But there does have some more cabbages. I've got to figure out what to plant in here next. And then this is some squash plants, which we desperately need it. A couple lettuces that grew from I cut off the bottom but didn't take the plant out, so it regrew. This is one of my remaining carrot patches. And then the lettuce that you see in here are the same thing. It just grew from the stem that I didn't take out. Here is one of my basil plants. And you will see a squash plant hiding in there. There's a couple squash plants hiding in here. This was supposed to be corn patch, but my kitten got a hold of it and moved the seeds around. Another basil. We're going to redo this bed with something else. I just haven't gotten to weeding it yet. You'll kind of hear me tell that story of not getting things done yet. It's just been a work in progress. Now, all the little babies like this that you see popped up are my Minnesota midgets. They will have a trellis system here soon. This behind it is zucchini, which I'm glad to see zucchini doing good considering, the other end is having some problems. This is my other kale batch. As long as it's doing good, same story, it will stay in. And then you're going to see some more catnip. And then here is another patch of carrots. And then what you can't really see very well is the Swiss chard that's behind this kale. Here is something new for you guys. These are my sweet potato slips that came in. They don't look good. Give them some time and they will look better in no time. But they were planted a couple days ago. Here's just some pretty cosmos. The rest of this right here is coming out today. This is what little bits left of my lettuces. I do have 2 or 3 that's gone to seed. This is another corn patch that's actually hanging in there. These are broccoli plants. As you can see, some have gone to seed. These little broccoli sprouts like this, we just pick them and we eat them in salads or on our own. We have a lot of cabbage and a lot of that needs to come out. This is my YouTube bed for beginners that I have been slacking on sharing. However, the bed is doing really, really good. This is my only like good squash plant that's producing right now. Like it has a baby right there. I'm hoping to see more babies soon. This is my best basil plant, pepper plants, dino kale. The green beans have lots of flowers on them. This tomato plant is wild and crazy and has babies on it. So this volunteer sunflower on this side ended up being one of my like autumn colors. Very pretty. This one right here, this volunteer is not open up yet, so we don't know the color of it. Here's just another kale section. All of this right here is cauliflower. I have seen heads in them, but with how hot it's getting, I'm not really sure what they're going to do. The pea plants, more than none, is already torn down. I'm going to pick the rest of these today, see what there is, and probably finish taking those down. I did plant some green beans in their spot. And let me actually show you guys something. As I was pulling out the weeds and stuff in the spot to plant my green beans, I noticed these guys growing. Last year, I put cucamelons here. They're little circles. They taste like a sour cucumber. I thought they were pretty good. The plant's just wild and crazy, and my husband doesn't really like the plant. And not a lot of people know what a cucamelon is, but like I tell you guys all the time, I just love volunteer plants. And I was kind of sad I didn't plant any, so I'm kind of glad it did itself. So that little small section here, I'm going to leave and let it do its thing. I don't really see any green bean babies have popped up, so we're going to move on to garden 2 is what we call it. So my potatoes are doing very, very good. We have found some kind of on the top of the soil, and the sun turns them green, which makes them toxic. So we actually weeded it, and we're going to put more dirt around it to try. And you're supposed to mound potatoes anyways, and we've just been a little late on that. So we're going to be working on that. This aisle right here, there's a basil plant, and look how big my okra plants have gotten since last week. Big improvement. And look how big the corn is getting. It's most definitely getting summertime around here. Now, this aisle has struggled a little bit, but I think it's going to start coming around. Look how big one of my watermelon plants is getting. This is a personalized size watermelon, so it should be fine growing on this arch. This is Kajari melons. They're still babies. Minnesota midgets round 1, which look about the same as round 2. And that's because this soil has been nothing but trouble. But my cucumber plants on this side are finally spunking up. And hopefully cucumbers are on the rise soon. Noodle beans, this side's doing good. This side, it was struggling, but it is catching up. I have tried really hard to save this squash, and I really don't know what's to come of it. I did plant corn seeds, which I have not seen any pop up. Look at this beautiful nasturtium. I just love that color. Now, these are actually edible flowers. I've never tasted them, but they're supposed to taste like a cucumber. But anyways, back on the squash. I don't know what to think anymore. I don't take it up because, like, I don't really have anything growing right here. It's not really bothering anything, so I just keep wanting to see if it will recover, and if it does, then I know next year what to try if I need to. Now, this one has grown some new green leafage, so that's hopes right there. Now, my green beans on this side have done really well, and in some areas we have seen flowers. So I should be getting green beans soon. For example, here's some flowers. This is a purple green bean. I cannot wait. We do can our produce, so I have several cans of green beans that we're still eating off of, but I'm hoping soon to have some fresh because I like them in a stir fry too. I like them a little bit more crunchy than canned, so it's coming soon. Here are my peppers. They're looking greener since I watered them in with some fish emulsion. They were looking a little yellow, which made me think they were nitrogen deficient. And we do have several growing. So they are on the rise. They've gotten taller since last week. And I've noticed lots of new leafage on top. So I do believe that intervention helped. Last but not least, let's go down to tomato aisles. My tomatoes did not care about the soil. It has done amazing. You're looking at cherry tomato aisle here, and I will show you some babies. I know that's not super impressive, but baby tomatoes, those are more impressive. So these are doing pretty good. So, you know, squash had problem. So did zucchini. And several of these, oops, there's a goner I need to take out. But I do have several down here that actually have lots of green leafage. These two right here look the best. And then I have one down there that looks pretty good. Now, these tomatoes, a few of them at the top over there are cherry tomatoes again, but the rest are getting into my slicers and my paste tomatoes, which are looking great. Here's you a couple big ones to look at. I'm starting to see quite a bit of flowering, quite a bit of baby fruit on there. Now, these tomatoes usually get pretty darn big. It's always exciting to come and see baby green tomatoes out here. I love this tomato. You see how striped and green it is? That's the Berkeley tie-dyed. So it's like a purple with pink as a mixture of colors. Here's some more. This is my early girl, which they're supposed to be loaded, and they're one of the earliest red tomatoes that's going to produce for me. So here you guys go. Here are my tomatoes. Now, this rows right here of the tomatoes have actually suffered, but they are on the mend and looking much better. I have not done any interventions. I have just let them be because I've noticed that my tomato plants do recover. Thank you guys once again for letting me share my garden with you guys. I really enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy the weekly progress. Things are changing around here, and I can't wait to share it all with you. Thank you for watching.